Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Check the Score podcast. Today, I'm joined by a new guest.
A new one, yes.
A new guest, yes. We're bringing them all on the podcast now. Joined by my good friend Callum, fellow football fan, and with the football starting back up in a month? I think 12th of August is the first Prem game.
Not too far away. Everyone's looking forward to it. It's been last season was a big one. We had the World Cup halfway through as well, which was always interesting, and for the Premier League as well, it was a good season in my opinion, nice and competitive as it always is, and it's only getting better.
Yeah, I know. It's the talent in the Premier League is obviously really, really extensive. Obviously, we saw with West Ham winning the Conference League. It even shows at the bottom. Well, they finished bottom half of the table.
They didn't do well this year, no.
And they beat Fiorentina in the final in Prague.
Yeah, and if you look at the transfers as well, you see Lazio went in for that Alzi, the Dutch team. They were in for one of the left backs, Lazio, and Bournemouth came in and stole him this morning for 20 million.
I did see that.
A lot of teams in the bottom of the Premier League that usually would not have good players anymore are stealing from, historically big European clubs.
Like, for instance, one of the players I saw got back on Bournemouth, Justin Kluivert.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He's a Bournemouth player now, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I'm not a Justin Kluivert enjoyer. I don't rate him. I think he's hopped around a bit. He's never really established him that well. It's a risky signing from Bournemouth, and I have an interesting take on Bournemouth this season. So,
we'll get into that a bit
later.
We'll
get into the predictions later, yeah.
But whilst we're on the topic of transfers, what are some transfers that you think have taken your fancy so far this summer?
My fancy? I really like the Declan Rice signing.
Even though the
fee's big, I like Declan Rice. I've looked at him, like training videos of him as well. I think at West Ham, even though he's the vocal player, they had him very defensive. They were a defensive team, hitting on the counter. I think at Arsenal, if they give him the creative freedom and allow someone to play beside him that can kind of maybe take on the defensive work more, and someone like Thomas Partey, I think, I don't think he'll live up to the fee. That's a lot of money, but still, it's the English tax.
Oh, 100%. Because you obviously got a lot of British players making movements this summer, but I think Declan Rice moving into that number 8 is definitely his best role. Everyone labels him as a 6, much like a lot of people labelled a player like N'Golo Kante as a 6. He really wasn't a 6, but
he's a very good box-to-box player.
Yeah, and I think with, obviously, you can tell Arteta is taking that Pep mould. I think he's trying to bring out a Rodri-esque player in Declan Rice, because I think Declan Rice is very good player, and in the England system, I think he's kind of got shackles on him a bit. But I think in that Arsenal side, especially when he's got Odegaard in front of him and players like that,
I think you'd be a fool to really judge players off the England setup. Not really rating of Gareth Southgate. Last World Cup, he played with 2 defensive midfielders, Calvin Phillips. The previous World Cup, 2018, I'm pretty sure it was. 2 defensive midfielders and a 3 at the back. It's a negative system, right? They've got such great talents at England, and Southgate's out of his depth.
Foden doesn't even get game time.
Yeah, Foden doesn't get a game. Players like Ivan Toney, who've been good for the last season and a half, 2 seasons, only getting 1 call up. Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Yeah, I know. It's rough time. Well, it has been since basically 66 to be an England fan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It always has been. Well, it's not coming home.
Yeah, I don't think so.
While he's there, it's not coming home.
Even though this England squad definitely has the capabilities to go and win a tournament. Obviously, you got Kane. You got, obviously, all these incredible wingers. As we said, Foden.
Creative players. Yeah, they got ballers.
Yeah. Another English player that made a move to a rival this summer, Mason Mount.
Yeah. Interesting one, a bit heartbreaking for the Chelsea fans out there. I would understand it as well. He's been there since he was 10 or maybe 8?
Young. I think young, like he wouldn't have even been 10.
Yeah, he's a London boy, and obviously Chelsea fans always thought Mason Mount, Declan Rice, they were going to reunite everyone. But no, I think Chelsea have made a mistake there. From what I've heard, Mason Mount was saying that the club weren't really interested in keeping him along for the project, so I can see why he would want to make the move. It was only, they offered him a contract until 2024 or something, so it seemed like
extension.
They just wanted to sell him going for more money. So I understand that.
Yeah, 100%. From what I've heard though, so obviously Ten Hag is the ex-Ajax manager. When Mount went on loan to Vitesse, apparently he's had his eye on him since then. So that's a very it's a long awaited arrival for Eric Ten Hag, I guess, because we're obviously looking at likes of Caicedo, and we're looking at, obviously there was a bunch of other players on the list, but it's interesting they've gone and spent that money on a midfielder, especially before a number 9.
Yeah, well, I think they already have a lot of players in kind of that advanced position, but I think probably Eric Ten Hag's trying to tactically change it up next season, be a bit more maybe creative. And I mean, when you have someone like Casemiro in that position, you have those players like Rodri, Casemiro, Fabinho when he was good, right?
Yeah.
Like, these guys are ballers, They can pretty much play for 2 players. Like, they are 2 players, and you can kind of give the other 2 midfielders creative freedom. And that's where you see a lot of teams in the past have this type of success, is when they have a player like that.
Yeah, and I think it also offers Bruno a lot more rotation. We don't have a purebred number 10. You saw Eriksen fill in that role later last year, and when we had Sabitzer on loan as well, you saw him filling in that role. You also saw the likes of Fred and McTominay getting more games, and I think by the looks of things, Fred is looking at a move. And
to Fulham,
yeah, Fulham look to be heavily interested in Fred.
And Scott McTominay to West Ham.
Yeah, filling in maybe that Declan Rice position. Obviously, I don't even think he steps into one shoe of Declan Rice's, let alone 2.
Let's not kid. There's no comparison between McTominay and Declan Rice, right? But I can see McTominay playing well there. When he's had good moments for United, he's been allowed to push up the pitch. And if West Ham allow him to do that, I think he can. The only problem with Scott McTominay is he can't really pass the ball, can he? He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't have
he's
that.
He's a workhorse, but
he doesn't have that technique.
Yeah, he's not got any technical.
Just
ability.
like Fred, his name should be Fred.
Yeah.
He's such a Fred, right? Same with Fred, It suits him well. He's Brazilian passport. Yeah, I was going to say, it's fake. It's fake, yeah. There's no way.
It's like, I remember when we signed him from Shakhtar. Everyone's like, Brazilian holding midfielder from Shakhtar that's moved to a Manchester club. Who does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Fernandinho. And he was like arguably one of the best sixes to ever play in the Premier League. Even
players like Willian. You had a couple, there's a lot of Brazilian ballers from Shakhtar Donetsk. That Tete guy that went to Leicester, he played okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they're technical, right?
Yeah.
Fred is,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Obviously, the only 2 British players I was thinking of before that have moved were Rice and Mount, but I've thought of another 2 just off the top of my head now. Yep. Obviously, probably the biggest one being Bellingham. Bellingham to Real Madrid.
And also Kyle Walker is looking to go to Bayern Munich. Have you seen that?
What about James Maddison?
James Maddison as well. Yeah, that's a good signing for Tottenham.
I think the fee is... I think it's a good fee because a relegation club shouldn't be getting a hefty fee like that.
And he had 12 months left.
And he had 12 months on his deal, but he's also worth that money. He's a quality player. And since Dele Alli left the club, I don't think they've had any creative midfielders. Any creative... Oh, and Eriksen.
Yep.
Yeah. Eriksen and Dele Alli are probably the last 2 creative midfielders.
I couldn't agree more. I think Ange. I've obviously watched a lot of him.
Yeah.
With Rangers against Celtic, let's not talk about that too much, people. But previous clubs, with Jose, and obviously they had a long time with Conte playing that 3 at the back formation. They only played with 2 midfielders, right? Højbjerg and Bissouma, I think, last year.
Yeah, Bissouma kind of got rotated a bit because they had Bentancur.
But yeah, that's who I was thinking of. And they had that gap between the strikers and the midfielders. So that's why we really saw Harry Kane having to drop in and collect the ball. And you saw great runs from Kuleski, obviously, and Son, because they were cutting in.
Yeah.
Cutting in more.
Hence why their output wasn't as good last season. Son usually puts up 10, 15, 20 goals a season.
Terrible season from him.
Whereas Kane collected 30 and no one buttered an eyelid because of
Haaland.
City's big Norwegian.
Yep. Yeah, the guy that's just going to take over the league for sure. But getting back to Jude Bellingham, what a talent this guy is. 20 years old.
He's a month older than me.
Yeah, and he is certified baller 16, moving to Dortmund, rejecting Man United. and moving to
Do
Dortmund.
you know who else did that? Erling
Erling
Haaland.
Haaland, yeah.
He rejected United and went to Dortmund.
Understandable, guys. You
Yeah.
know, understandable for their development as well. Dortmund do it best, and I understand it.
Yeah, 100%. Probably no better club in the world at
To
developing
go
players.
to if you're a young player, no.
Look at Sancho, Ousmane Dembele, like all those players. That massive
Hakimi.
yeah.
Yeah, some great ballers from there as well. You had people from the past, Lewandowski,
Yeah, Lewandowski.
coming from the Polish league to
Yeah,
Dortmund.
Lech Poznan or something like that.
Exactly. It's a big jump.
Yeah, 100%. But that midfield selection at Real Madrid is absolutely ridiculous. Valverde, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Kroos, Modric, like what? Like
They are spoiled for choice.
that is ridiculous. They play a midfield three and they can only start.
I think, as much as I want to be negative on them, they might have problems in the future with clashing of personalities, right?
You think so?
Yeah, all those guys will want to play, but I think, you know, in the next year, we could see a Kroos or Modric retiring.
I think I can see Kroos retiring.
I think Kroos will retire first, but having those players there to mentor those younger lads, and these are certified winners. These guys have won it all. Kroos has won it all.
Most European
Modric
cups, yeah.
is amazing athlete and professional. He's taken his national team to the next level, and so having, you know, Camavinga and who else is there? Tchouaméni, Valverde, and obviously Bellingham there now. It's going to be big help for their development, having those guys.
But they're going to be starting Joslu up front next season.
Yeah, I've seen that. Who's he a reject from? It was a Premier League club he flopped at.
I don't know. I think he signed from, was it?
He signed from like one of the... He got relegated. One of the Spanish...
Was he? I thought it was like Espanyol or something like that.
It was one of the bottom teams.
Maybe run a fact check, but obviously Benzema's moved to Al Hilal. I think that's the not Al Hilal. That's the one that Messi rejected.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
It was Al Ittihad or something like that. That's the one that Kante also moved to.
Yeah. I mean, they are taking over football. I'm getting a quick check up. It was Espanyol, yeah.
Oh, got it.
Newcastle, yeah. He flopped at Newcastle.
I got it. Espanyol, I thought so. But yeah. Interesting times with our Saudi.
With the Saudi Arabian League. Well, Ronaldo in an interview 6 months ago said there's big things coming. And there is, but I wouldn't worry too much. You've seen other players reject moves to the Saudi League, right?
I think there's one big one that's really stood out to me, and that is in the form of Sergio Milinkovic-Savic.
Yep.
Who got confirmed the other night, as well as even players like Ruben Neves got offers from Barcelona. Sergio Milinkovic-Savic has been linked with every club under the sun
over the past years, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also tons of other players. Like you think of, obviously I said Kante and Benzema, but then you like one that shocked me, Alexandra Mitrovic.
Yeah, that's insane. And I think, you know, he had a big season last year. He played well until he got with the referee incident. He was shooting goals in...
Was it FA Cup or Carabao Cup?
I think it was the FA Cup, something like that.
Semi-final, because we won and then
he
got slapped by City in the final.
Yeah. These things happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a big move for him. I think, not a big player, but Aaron Ramsey was offered... I think a contract by Saudi Arabia. He signed with Cardiff. He knocked it back.
Yeah, he signed for Cardiff, staying true to his Welsh roots.
Well, he was earning $300,000 at Juventus, so I'm sure money isn't an issue.
Yeah,
and
a lot of these footballers.
I don't care, Aaron Ramsey. You know, I don't like Aaron Ramsey. I'm not going to forget the Europa League penalty miss, Aaron Ramsey. If you're watching this, I'll never forget he missed.
Oh yeah.
All our other players scored against Frankfurt, and our star signing of that January window missed the penalty.
So bad.
And that's how we lost the Europa League final.
If no one's already established, Carlos, or I call him Carlos, it's Callum, is a Rangers fan, but also has a soft spot for Manchester United.
Well, everyone knows who grows up in Australia is if you tell someone you don't go for a Premier League club, they'll ask you, so what English team do you support? So you always have to choose. And Man United always had ballers, always liked players who were technically gifted. and could play with the ball and dribble. So they always had those type of players.
Yeah, I always say the person that made me fall in love with football was Wayne Rooney. But one of their most technical players, I have 2 technical players at United who actually made me fall in love with the sport even more. And that is Lewis Nani and Dimitar Berbatov.
Yeah, Berbatov, the ball was stuck to those guys' feet.
Some of those flicks that man pulled out were insane. Obviously, probably a bigger Tottenham legend than a United legend. But
I have a controversy. I always loved Van Persie.
I love Van Persie.
Especially at Man United.
I love Van Persie.
I always thought, like, you know, it's one of those things where you had, like, a FIFA team. And that's what, like, you would do in your FIFA team is buy, like, Van Persie and you'd have Wayne Rooney and Van Persie. And it happened in real life.
Such a career mode.
Yeah, and it happened. And it was just like, he's just talented, Van Persie. He's just really good. I always liked him.
Yeah, always scored screamers as well.
Always had a soft spot for him, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Is there any more signings we wanted to cover?
Any more signings? I'm trying to remember. Well, Jota went to the Saudi.
Yeah, he followed Benzema and Kante at Al Ittihad or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's a big loss for Celtic.
What about all the Chelsea stuff? Chelsea, like, selling off their whole squad. Havertz, Mount, Kovacic,
We've missed Havertz, yeah.
Mendy, Pulisic, almost Ziyech.
Loftus-Cheek.
Ziyech failed his medical.
Yeah, poor guy.
Because he failed his medical when he was going to go on loan to
I think
Paris.
it was a fax issue. It was a Chelsea fax issue. They didn't get the paperwork done in time, and the move failed.
I thought it was a medical, because that's why everyone's like, oh, he's failed his medical twice.
Poor guy. Anyway, poor him. He can't get a move, can he? He's just stuck.
He was such a baller at Ajax as well.
Oh, yeah, that left foot, as I should say.
I remember that I can't remember if it was a free kick directly or a cross off a free kick in the Champions League where Ziyech just whipped it in on his left foot.
And it's from miles out.
Yeah, miles out. It was insane. And I'm just like, I think it was one of the moments of the tournament, and everyone's like, this guy's going to get a big move, and obviously he did, along with like De Ligt and De Jong and etc. But yeah. What is the Chelsea strategy? Just trying to recoup money?
I think so. I think maybe they have to balance the books. And also they had a really inflated squad. They had 35 first-team players, something like that.
I heard rumours that apparently in the
dressing room,
the video sessions, people were sitting on the floor. That's how big the squad was.
There wasn't enough room in the kit, so people were sitting down on the floor, changing their boots and stuff.
It's so bad. And obviously they've got Nkunku now.
Yeah, that's a good signing. I rate Nkunku, but I'm actually more interested to see how they play next season, how they fit all these stars into this team.
But I think they've also got a few underrated players now. They've got Nico Jackson from Villarreal. I've never heard much of him, but from what I've been reading, he seems to be a good little player, and they got him for 37 million euros or 37 million pounds. It was a release clause.
The one I'm interested in, Colwell, from returning on his loan from Brighton.
He's so good. That should be because obviously you can clearly see Southgate has a vendetta against
young
Fikayo Tomori.
Tomori as well. Yeah, Colwell and Tomori just not playing. We prefer Connor Cody.
Let's be real. The best England centre-back is John Stones, and that is undebatable.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
But who would he get paired with? Is he going to keep big slabhead Harry Maguire next to him, or is he going to pair him with an actually technically gifted footballer like Levi Colwill or
Tomori? Depends how they set up.
They can play three at the back.
They love
three
at the back. That suits Harry Maguire's game very well. Plus, John Stones is very good at that right back role because he's also been suited to right left back and moving into the right back role as well. So, I could see them.
And it can also mean that Kyle Walker plays as outside centre back.
Yep, I think Kyle Walker still has legs in him, so I wouldn't be surprised if Southgate does that.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. What do you make of those Chelsea signings, going elsewhere? Do you think Pulisic? Obviously, he's not going to be getting time on the wing over Leao.
Nah, Pulisic, his time was over. I think he'd had time there, injury strucken
because he signed when they had the transfer ban.
Yep.
Because they made the agreement before they got the ban, so that was their only signing for 18 months.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 2017-18.
Yeah, because
they signed him halfway through.
Because his first game for the club, I think, was when United beat Chelsea on opening day of the season 4-1 at home.
They had him signed for a while, and I think it was one of these agreements where they loaned him back to Dortmund, and then he joins in the summer.
Yep.
Same with Kovacic. They had the same thing with them, obligation to buy or option.
Well, with Kovacic going one way, Ilkay Gundogan has gone to Barcelona.
That's a big loss.
He's so good.
That's a big loss for them.
He's so good. He's so clutch.
He really turned up in the last couple of games.
He does every year, though.
Yeah.
Every year. He turns up in the last 10 rounds and just...
Yeah, he's a big game player.
Oh, God, yeah. God, yeah. I think I was talking to our good friend Bailey, and he's been on the podcast before, and he's like, man just turns up like Didier Drogba and scores in a final.
Yeah, exactly. You need those players, but if I was a City fan, I wouldn't be too worried. Pep Guardiola, he always has a trick up his sleeve. So.
Kovacic is a winner. He's won 3 or 4 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, at Real Madrid and also the Premier League multiple times, 3 times probably, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but yeah, he's bloody good player, and I actually thought he was, Chelsea's best midfielder.
Yeah, what I say he's Chelsea's best midfielder
On form.
Last season.
Or just in general, I think.
Just in general, technically.
Because, well, I think Mount will be a better midfielder than Kovacic.
Yeah.
I'll be real. But in that Chelsea system, I think Kovacic is a better player. Playing in that double...
Next to Kante.
Yeah, that's how they won the European Cup. And
I think Mount played really well in that European run.
Yeah, but he was also further forward as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then we also haven't even touched on Liverpool. They're 2 midfielders they've signed.
Yeah, that guy.
Dominic Szoboszlai.
Thank God you pronounced that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah. That is like everyone's nightmare to pronounce. Szoboszlai?
I think you're getting close.
Szoboszlai.
I want to hear Peter Drury say it and see how he goes with it.
Yeah. Who else? Who was the other one?
McAllister.
That was done
bargain.
early.
Absolute bargain. £35 million from a World Cup winner. Arguably, probably Argentina's best midfielder in that World Cup.
If I was a Liverpool fan, I think it's going to be an interesting season.
Well, you'll see. We're doing a ladder prediction on the podcast today.
Yeah.
So,
do you have him in an interesting position?
I do.
Me too. I think it's not going to be the Liverpool of old next season.
No, neither.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into that now?
Should we start top to bottom or bottom to top?
I think we go bottom to top.
Okay. I think we might have the same bottom. I feel like...
The thing is, my bottom, I think, is realistic, but it's also the 3 clubs I just want to see go down.
Oh, come on.
Well, not want to, but
you think realistically...
I think they worsen the quality of the Premier League.
Okay, fair enough.
Who have you got rock bottom?
Luton.
I don't.
What?
Nah.
All right.
I think the Kenilworth Road or whatever.
You got Bournemouth.
Nah, I've got Sheffield United.
Sheffield. Ooh, really? I don't have them bottom.
I have Sheffield United bottom.
Why?
Well, statistically, almost every season in the Premier League, 2 of the 3 teams that come up go back down.
Yep.
So based on that statistic, I think you can guess who my next team is going to be, which is Luton, but I don't think Luton will go rock bottom. I think everyone...
they'll do with Sheffield United?
I think everyone will get around Luton. The culture, it's a real underdog story.
Yeah.
And I think even their away fans are just going to...
You think the fans
they're just going to lap
lift
it up.
them?
They're going to lap it up.
Yep.
So, and they signed Heath Chong this week, obviously.
Dead baller, man.
Dead baller. Oh, that's a bit
He's
mean.
25, 24.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
not.
old.
Is he not like 22?
Nah, that's it. I'm searching this up because
it's a record signing. They signed him for £4.5 million.
Or 5. See, I search up Chong and he's not even the first. That's how you know.
Oh, United Academy player. Don't hate on Tahiti.
All right, he's 23.
Hey, he's still got room to grow.
Yeah, he's got room. Let's not be...
Has he turned 23 or turning 23?
Well, he's born in 99, so
he's 24 this year.
Yeah.
Oh god.
In December, so he might as well be born in 2000, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I chose Bournemouth is I think their story is beautiful, right? It's a nice underdog story, but they're just out of their depth.
Second season syndrome.
Yeah. The water's going to be rising too high for them, I think. The quality.
Wait, you had them 20th or 19th?
20th.
20th.
Bottom.
Interesting. Yeah. So I can't already said my 19th. I kind of gave an explanation for it. But Sheffield United, man, I didn't even expect them to come back up for a long while.
The Blades, yeah.
Up at,
They got automatic promotion.
Yeah, they came second.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good on them.
That's a good finish.
But, yeah, as you said, like Bournemouth, out of their depth.
Yeah, I think they still have that Sanderberg guy, or did he leave?
I don't know, because he used to be a baller. Was he at... What club was he at? Was he at RB Salzburg? Is that where came from?
He's from a Norwegian club, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
something like that.
No, it's not RB Salzburg.
He's still there. I'll get it up for you. He's 6'5", people.
Was it Malmo? No.
Ghent.
Gent.
You know,
Yeah,
Belgium team.
in Belgium. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not Norwegian. Yeah. Yeah, but he signed when they were in the Premier League, and obviously is he still there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably the only player of note that I know.
Yeah, pretty much from there.
I'll be real.
Billy Sharp's not there anymore.
Oh,
he got released. I was checking up today. He got released.
No.
Maybe he got signed. Don't quote me, but I saw it said.
I remember the last time they were in the
expiring.
Premier League, David McGoldrick played for them. Now he's playing at Notts County.
Yeah. Well, these guys that I saw, these guys that they had there when they first came up, they were like 32 at the time, 33 though.
So you knew that if they were going to come back up, they won't be there anymore.
Most likely not.
But yeah.
My 19th team.
Go for it.
Bournemouth. Second season syndrome, I think, from Bournemouth.
Wait. 19th is Bournemouth and 20th was Luton. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, my 19th is Luton. And my 20th was Sheffield United.
Yep.
Okay.
Bournemouth, they lost Lerma on a free transfer to Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
that's a big loss. He was a big time player for them. They're relying on players like
Dominic Solanke.
Yeah,
now they've obviously got Justin Kluivert. Who else they got? Noberto Neto in goal. He's actually a decent goalkeeper.
And they signed this Traore guy from Italy. I think they've just signed... It can work, right? They've signed unproven players. And like a couple of my selections, I think they're relying on some of these players a bit too much to turn up, like Billing, Solanke. And if they don't turn up, the ship's going to sink.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. And they sacked Gary O'Neill. That's another thing.
That was a big surprise.
That was an awful call. So bad.
What does that say to your players as well? I think that kills morale.
He was only in the job for like six months. Yeah, and he was throwing up conversations for manager of the season.
I'm surprised he didn't get nominated, did he?
No, it was Eddie Howe, Pep.
Joke.
Bruno, no, not Bruno Lage. Who's the Fulham manager? Marco Silva.
Yeah, that's a joke. Plus, the players will be thinking,
and Arteta. I think they were the four that got nominated. Yeah, who have you got in your 18?
I've swapped it because you convinced me with Sheffield United, so I'm going Sheffield United to get relegated as well. Sorry.
So that means
that's an easy choice.
Our relegation is the same, just different order, because I got Bournemouth 18th.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice.
So I don't think we need to explain too much. We've kind of already gone over it. One player I realised who plays for Sheffield United, Rhian Brewster.
Oh, yeah. The guy that stole the Champions League medal, yeah.
Yeah, I love that video of him in the barber.
He's definitely got that in his Tinder profile, He's definitely got that medal in his Tinder profile. I respect it.
He so does. I can't believe he even qualified to get a medal.
He sneaked it, though.
I don't know how he was in the squad. Anyway, I've just had a notification on my laptop that it's about to die, so I'll plug it in and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. The laptop has been plugged in. Lifesaver there.
Technical difficulties.
Bit of technical difficulties. Who doesn't when you're recording a podcast? We're in 17th now. Who do you think is just going to scrape survival?
I think it's a toss-up between a couple of teams, but I've gone with Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. As have I.
Oh, all right. Let's hear your reasoning first. I want to.
They got some good players. They're going to lose a lot of players. They had a lot of players as loans.
Yeah.
Obviously, I thought a big part of a big player in their season last year was going to be Jesse Lingard, but he didn't get many games, if any, at all.
No, big flop.
I'd actually love, as a Man United fan, to see them sign Dean Henderson on permanent.
Easy money, yeah.
Yep, easy money for us, but also I think they get a good quality goalkeeper in return, someone who can definitely keep them up. By the looks of things, Keylor Navas isn't going to be permanent.
No, that's a big loss.
He kind of kept them up.
He made some crucial saves.
And I think their manager's good. I forget his name.
It's like,
I know, he looks like he's baked every time he's on the sideline.
what's his name?
He's a good manager, and they signed him up to a massive deal, a long-term deal last year when he was kind of in question about getting sacked.
It was a weird one. They were like potentially going down, and then they're like Steve Cooper.
Steve Cooper, that's
That's his name.
Yeah.
Which was a weird one. I put down they lost that Lottie guy that was on loan from.
What about
Navas?
I've seen Albert Sambi Lokonga linked
to Nottingham.
to Nottingham. Yeah. I think he'd be a good signing for them from Arsenal. And I also think that a 1-year guy, their striker, he's a very good player.
Which one?
A 1-year.
Oh, the guy that signed from Germany.
Yeah, he was there last season as well, but I think he's a good player.
What's his? Is it Brendan Johnson?
Brendan Johnson, great player.
Morgan Gibbs-White.
He's so good. Everyone was questioning the fee. Probably hasn't lived up to the fee, but he's so good.
And
got an England call up.
Strange one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd give him an England call up. Is he the same levels as some of the other guys?
No, definitely not. But good on him for getting an England call up.
Yeah, respect.
16th.
16th. Who do I have in 16th? I think I have Everton.
Same.
This is not scripted.
I have Everton in 16th.
Okay, yeah.
I think Sean Dyche with a whole year ahead of him. I think he'll keep him up, but I still don't think they're going to be very good. Relying on Dominic Calvert-Lewin for goals is not good.
No.
They signed Ashley Young on a free.
The guy's, like 38?
Yeah, veteran, but not very good.
Maybe to help in the dressing room, and maybe he's been offered a coaching role part-time as well. But I think they just never really replaced players as well in the past.
I think they have the longest serving Premier League player in their squad, Seamus Coleman.
Yeah, that's him for sure. But I don't think they have the quality that is he Onana as well? You know the guy?
Yeah, Amadou Onana.
Yep. I reckon he's a good player.
Their midfield is actually good.
Yeah,
my question is, obviously, it was sad to see this week the Dele Alli thing come out with Gary Neville. Do you think he's going to have a massive redemption arc?
As much as we want to say yes, I'd say no. I think he has his issues, and prayers to him and everything. Because, it's not been easy. The press have been on him as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, that's what comes with fame is you get piled on, right?
He kind of escaped things when he was in Turkey a bit, but now that he's back, I'm sure people will be on him.
Yeah, they'll be kind to him, but I think, he might need a couple more months out of football, and I think we shouldn't try to rush him.
Yeah, 100%. All right, 15th.
15th, I have, from recollection, Wolves.
I have a different team.
Oh, thank.
I have a team that's going to have a fall from grace a little bit. I have Fulham.
I have Fulham in 14th.
Oh.
So I think Wolves are going to be a more worse candidate because I think, obviously, we were talking about Ruben Neves earlier. That's a big loss.
That is a huge loss.
Huge loss. And last season, even the season before, their attack has been woeful.
Yeah, I think they've got a good coach, though. Julian Lopetegui is their manager.
Great coach.
He's a good manager. He's coached the Spanish national team, Real Madrid, a few other teams in Spain as well. But yeah, Wolves are I think they're a stable mid-table side.
They are. Their attack's terrible.
Yeah, they're just a bit boring, I think. But they got a few good players.
There's still talent. I think they lost Nathan Collins. Remember?
He signed for Brentford.
So that's a bit of a loss. Connor Cody also got sold to Leicester.
Yeah, because he was on loan at Everton last year.
So they're changing things around, which is interesting.
But yeah, no, I think Wolves around that spot's probably fair. Mm-hmm. You said you got Fulham in 14th.
14th. I think they still have a solid midfield. Andres Pereira is playing very well last season. That Paulinho guy.
João Paulinho, he's so good.
Everyone knows he's
good. If they can keep him,
I think they will keep him. They've priced him out of a move.
Reason I had Fulham so low is purely out of that Mitrovic news.
That's why I had him low as well. I think
to replace those goals is going to be hard.
That Solomon guy left as well for Tottenham.
Yep.
He's left he's on loan and left on a free from Shakhtar.
Yep.
And I think Willian, I think he's also been released.
Yeah, so they've lost a lot of attacking threat.
Yeah, and I think Willian, obviously he's not his former self, but he's still chipped in for Fulham every now and again. So
because they got Decadobo Reed or whatever his name is, and they got a few other little like
players that aren't really that proven, and I think losing 3 players like that's a hit.
Yeah, 100%. My 14th, the last newly promoted side, I have Burnley.
Burnley.
Under Vincent Kompany.
Nice. In 14th?
14th.
I had them in 13th.
So our tables are looking pretty similar.
Yeah, I thought Burnley are going to be one of those teams. They dominated the championship.
Yeah.
I thought, they might actually push it and reach for the skies. And I think they have a decent squad.
Without Weghorst back.
Yeah, maybe he can play well. I don't really...
I don't know if that's their style of play
anymore.
But, yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he's, I think the only issue with Burnley, I think, they had a lot of loan players from City, like their academy team.
Yeah.
If they can get a few of them on permanence with maybe buyback clauses or sell-on clauses for cheap, that would be
I think City will do that, yeah.
That'd be great. But yeah, I think Burnley will stay up. Maybe not comfortably, but they'll stay up.
Yeah, this one is one that I think we could get wrong, but I think they'll stay up. They play good attacking football. They suit the Premier League. And I think, whether you like it or not, Man City are going to help out Vincent Kompany and send him some players.
God, yeah. You said Burnley's your 13. Yep. My 13 is Crystal Palace.
Okay. Nice.
I think
Wilfried Zaha lost.
Wilfried Zaha is a huge loss. We don't really know where he's going. Apparently, he turned down a move from Saudi.
I thought he was going to Turkey.
Yeah, I heard. A lot of players have been moving to Turkey actually.
Yeah, the money. Ryan Kent from Rangers moved
to
Turkey.
Angelino from RB Leipzig. Edin Dzeko.
Yeah, those are big signings. Those are
Maro Icardi signed on a permanent as well.
European players. Maro Icardi, what a steal, 10 million.
Yeah,
he's a big problem player, but whether he can score.
If you can get the attitude right out of him, he'll score you goals.
Yeah.
He was a top player when he was at Inter, that's for
sure.
He was
superb at Inter.
Yeah,
he really carried.
So good. But yeah, I think Roy Hodgson, I think that was the wrong appointment.
Really?
I don't know. Roy Hodgson for the end of last season was good, but obviously they got some good players still. They got Eze.
I think he just suits Crystal Palace.
Michael Elise. A few other good players. Their centre-backs are phenomenal. Mark Gehi and Joachim Andersen.
Mm-hmm. What I was going to add, because I have a bit further up, I said, big loss in Zaha, good coach and team. I don't mind.
I don't like Roy Hodgson.
I think he suits Crystal Palace. Like, he brings good... They play well under him. I don't know why. But I think they're in need of a midfielder. One midfielder, if you look in the past, they had players on loan from like Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They're kind of missing a bit of an engine in the midfield to carry the ball.
Yeah. And their number 9's never nailed on either. They got that Mateta and obviously Odsonne Edouard.
Edouard, yeah. I think Edouard had a shaky season. He showed glimpses.
He's good impact.
Yeah.
He always is good impact. But it's whether he can string together a solid season full of 90-minute performances, I think.
I agree.
And then my 12th and 11th, I'm actually going to switch right now.
Okay.
I'll tell you who I now have in 12th, and that's Wolves.
Okay.
Wolves, I have 12th. I think Neves obviously is going to be the huge loss for them.
Yeah.
I had them 11th initially. But he's going to be a huge loss for them. And as you said, lack attacking spark, but I think they've got a good manager, and if they recruit, obviously this transfer window still goes for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think
change.
Yeah, I think they'll be mid-table somewhere.
If they spend that Neves money well.
Yeah, because they got like 35 million for him, I think.
More 50. I think
1 year left on his deal, and they get 50.
Well,
Saudi money.
I don't want to talk about the money, but yeah.
So who you got in your 12th spot?
Brentford.
Brentford, that's who I had there.
Yep. I put them there. I think, obviously, they can move, I think, a bit lower, but Nathan Collins, a good signing. They have a sound team, sound coach. But obviously,
Thomas Frank's a brilliant manager.
Yeah, what everyone's going to be thinking is Ivan Toney.
Oh.
He's out until halfway through the season. He comes back, and I think... It'll be hard.
His goals, it's going to be so hard to make up for him.
And his involvement in play as well, I think. I don't think they'll be able to replace him, but they have players around the attacking area and midfield that can kind of help ease the pressure of his... It's not as big as Mitrovic, in my opinion.
Now we're talking about Ivan Toney. I have a theory that I've come up with since... Well, obviously we'll get into later, but Andre Onana got confirmed this morning. He signed for Man United by Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah.
And do you think that we're going to hold off on a striker for this window and then try and get Tony in January when his band's up?
No way.
No way?
No, because I think Eric Ten Hag will want a striker. There's no way Man United can go into next season with like Martial and Rashford up front. That would be like career suicide.
Yeah.
It would be like it will implode. Plus, I think Ivan Toney will be priced out of a move again. I think they'll be wanting 50 to 60 million.
I think that's a fair fee though.
It's a fair fee for him, but Eric Ten Hag, it's a different Man United. They're not as obsessed with British players.
Yeah,
So,
that is true. I'm sure we'll get back into more Man United stuff later, but we'll keep moving up the ladder.
mm-hmm.
So my 11th, as I said, was Brentford.
Yep.
And you said you're 13, didn't you?
Yep. It was Burnley, 12th, Brentford, and now we're up to 11th.
11th, yeah. So my 11th is
You
Brentford,
told me your swap.
and yours is
West Ham.
West Ham.
Yep. Already good players, Paqueta, Bowen, but
Losing Rice.
Rice is a big loss, but obviously I think it can change for them because we still have a month left if they spend this Rice money well.
Who's going to be their new captain?
Is Aaron Cresswell still there?
Yeah, he'll be it. Yeah. Does he start over Emerson though?
No, but we've seen in the past people like Azpilicueta.
Yeah, even Harry Maguire.
Yeah, well,
Obviously, he got stripped. He got
today.
stripped this morning.
Yep.
But
I think you can still be a captain without playing as much. Or just someone else will take the role.
yeah, 100%. Also, I think one of their January signings I think might pull through. I think Danny Ings will be really good for him next season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he struggled a lot when he was at
Aston
Villa. Yeah, he struggled at
well.
Villa. Obviously, Watkins
It's a good backup striker.
kind of took that role off him.
Yeah, once Unai came in,
He just labelled Watkins as the 9.
he played out of his boots.
Oh, he's so good at the back end of last year. Obviously, got Villa into that European spot.
Yeah, that sacking of Stevie G was genius.
100%. And then 10th, that's where I have West Ham.
I had Crystal Palace at 10th.
Yeah.
So I think we can move up to 9th.
Yeah.
Those teams, you can shuffle them around.
Yeah, 100%. Mid-table's kind of always
It's the hardest.
Yeah, I think so too. I think relegation is kind of... Everyone gets a good idea.
Yeah.
It's at mid-table usually. It's
just a pain anyone's game.
Yeah. It's like Crystal Palace usually finish like 12th every year. It's like...
Yeah, 10, between 10 and 12.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're into the single digits. 9.
I chose Brighton.
As did I. I think European football is going to hurt them. I think a lot of their players leaving. Obviously, McAllister's gone. Caicedo's probably going to go.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of other players still there. They've obviously got Evan Ferguson still. Matoma.
Evan Ferguson, proper baller that.
Oh, I think Matoma's a proper baller also.
As well. João Pedro signed from Watford.
Record fee. £35 million, I think it was.
They got that keeper from Anderlecht, that Van Bruggen or something like that.
I don't think he'll start though. They've got that many good goalkeepers already. They've got Robert Sanchez, Jason Steele at the back end of last year.
Jason Steele was insane.
He was quality.
What happened there? Yeah. That's the type of
Levi
keeper.
Colwill, they've lost him, obviously.
Big loss. I think they're looking at other people as well.
Because they did get an offer. I think they offered about 40 million for Levi Colwill. And Chelsea's like, nah.
Fair enough from Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I think good coach, still have a decent squad.
De Zerbi, so good.
And they've added players in James Milner as well.
Yeah, that's true. They did get James Milner.
So
A bit more of an experienced head. Yeah, no, 100%. I think they're still going to be in there, but in combination with European football and losing players, they'll still be up there, but not quite up there. I think
European football always hurts these teams. We've seen in the past.
100%. 8th,
Tottenham.
Villa.
Ooh, all right.
Once again, European football hurting them.
For Villa?
Yeah, because they got Conference League, I think.
They did, but I think they've made some decent signings like Pau Torres.
He's a brilliant signing. £35 million from Villarreal.
Imagine telling someone that, 5 years ago, that they would have Emery and Pau Torres.
Yeah.
It's insane what the Premier League has done.
Oh, God, yeah. Obviously, they got Emi Buendia, Leon Bailey, Ollie Watkins.
Bidding for that Diaby guy from
Leverkusen. Vlahovic at one point as well.
Doku? You know the guy from
Jeremy
Rennes?
Doku, yeah.
used to play for
Yeah, he
Anderlecht.
played. He was really good at. I think it was the Euros or the World Cup or something like
The
that.
Euros. Yeah, he played well for Belgium in the Euros.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if they add a Diaby or someone like that, that'd be a brilliant signing. I think that's why I've actually put them at 7th.
7th. So the next position.
I had Tottenham in 8th.
Explanation?
I think Harry Kane's going to go to Bayern Munich. And
Do you think so?
Well, the director came out and said if he keeps his word, it's going to happen. But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if he still stayed. But I think they're not going to have a good season. Madison's a good signing. That Solomon guy, I don't know. Plus, I'm not convinced of Ange still. Even in Australia, I think...
I love him.
Yeah, he's a good coach. I rate him. He's a good coach. But the way he managed Celtic to the way he'll have to manage Tottenham is like...
Yeah, that's
two
true.
different dishes.
That is true. So you said in 7th you had...
Aston Villa, 8th.
My
Tottenham.
7th is Newcastle.
Okay, really?
I think Champions League, once
It will
again,
hinge them,
going to
yeah.
hurt them. They obviously picked up Sandro Tonali. What a signing.
From AC Milan.
Huge.
Yeah,
Apparently, from the
insane.
sound of things, he didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I think he kind of got forced out the door with Brescia as well, getting money from that. And also AC Milan still needing money.
He did look like he was going to make that Pirlo mold of player from Brescia to Milan.
Milan, yeah. I think fantastic player as well. It just shows the power of the Premier League, doesn't it?
Once again, I also think it'll allow Bruno Guimaraes to move further up the field, not relying on his defensive.
Imagine that Guimaraes and Tonali in the midfield.
And then Joel Linton as well, because he's turned into a good midfielder.
Yeah,
I
a
think.
good workhorse. Yeah, but I think it'll be interesting to see where Newcastle.
Imagine they
goes.
got James Maddison as well, and that was their midfield three. Maddison,
Well, yeah, he knocked them back.
Yeah, Maddison, Guimaraes,
I don't know why.
and Tonali. Imagine that. That would be like
Dirty.
top four midfields in the Prem,
Yeah.
arguably. 6th,
I had Newcastle at 6th.
I have Chelsea.
Fair enough. I said a Tonali amazing signing, but I don't think they'll get Champions League again because lack of depth in their team, and you got to play a lot of games with European football. I think you underestimate how many games. It's like 50 to 60 games a season. These players can't do that, especially with the intensity of football.
Yep.
So
I think Chelsea currently going through a rebuild. I think Poch is a good manager, proven in the Premier League.
yeah,
Obviously not. They don't have Europe, so I think that's also going to benefit them a lot.
Yeah.
With a big squad, with big rotation, I think they could easily go on a cup run next year.
it's a good transition period to have for them.
Yeah, they've signed some attackers. Obviously, they're going to have still the likes of Callum. They're going to have Nkunku. They're going to have Nico Jackson. All these players, I think they'll be fine. And then obviously, if they get Caicedo on top of that, because they've lost a lot of midfielders, that'd be really good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Plus Gallagher, etc. Like
Yeah.
they've got a good squad. Thiago Silva's still there.
Yeah, I put them at 5th. With Colwell back, I think a lot of the deadwood is gone. A lot of the issues, because with the amount of players there, egos are going to get hurt.
Agreed. My 5th was Spurs.
Just the Ange effect.
Ange
You
effect.
believe in the
Ange
Ange
effect,
effect?
and if they keep Kane. If they don't keep Kane, I think they are.
They can
I
drop.
think they drop to where you had them.
Yeah, I had them in 8th.
Yeah, that would sound about right to me.
Yeah.
If they keep Kane, he's 20, 25 goals easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he comfortably can get you European football, especially with a lot of the other clubs losing players, like, as we mentioned, Brighton.
I just think the investments in the teams above them and around them compared to their investments will just be too much for Tottenham.
I agree.
I think everyone else is improving and they haven't really done as much.
But I also think now that they've got James Maddison, that just adds another...
Helps, yeah.
It just adds another creative spark rather than resting on Kane dropping in the lines and feeding Son and Kulusevski,
Yeah.
even
Allows them
Richarlison.
to play better, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Up to the
Now we got Champions League spots.
top 4.
Who you got 4th?
Liverpool.
Nah, I have Arsenal.
Arsenal. Oh, really?
Yeah, I have Arsenal. I think a fall from grace.
You reckon they won't do as well? Fair enough. They have Champions League football as well this season, so that means harder, more competitive games.
Yep, I agree. I think Champions League football, in combination with they're going to have a new midfield players learning their trade. Kai Havertz looks to be falling further back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Kai Havertz. I'm not really...
I think, once again, ego clash. I think there's going to be ego clashes in that squad. Think about how competitive that left-hand side is now with Leandro Trossard and Martinelli trying to fight for a spot. You're going to have Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, all these players trying to get into that midfield. Bukayo Saka's obviously going to be a nail on. He's got that right wing covered. Gabriel Jesus, I don't think he's a natural 9, not so much a natural pure red goal scorer.
I don't know. I think they've signed Urian Timber as well.
Good signing.
Baller.
But does he fit that mold? Like, they need a right back, a proper right back.
I think he can do it. I think they're going to try to go inverted.
Yeah, I think every team seems to be... Ben White seems to be more of a squad player now by the looks of it.
Good squad player to have. A luxury, in my opinion.
Oh, God,
of a squad player.
We were mentioning England centre-backs before. He's up there.
And even then, Gabriel had made mistakes last season. Saliba got injured.
New deal for Saliba as well. I think he got another 4 or 5 years.
That's good. I think he played really well for them last season. Definitely part of the team of the season last season.
God, yeah.
And I think adding like Timber, where he can play in Saliba's position, is good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So your fourth was Liverpool.
Yeah. I was interested to see Klopp's new tactics. I think he's going to change it up with those new midfielders. However, I don't think they'll still do as well as previous seasons because I think defensively they're still shaky.
Agreed.
I think, that midfield, they'll need to replace Fabinho. They need to bring in a defensive midfielder.
He looks to be going Saudi as well. They've offered 40 million. Henderson, Saudi.
He's gone as well. Milner's gone.
Yep.
A lot of these players are leaving.
Keita.
Yeah, it's a revolution, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
God, yeah. Third.
Man United.
Yeah. I think they'll stay where they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need more reinforcement than they have, even with a 9. I think we could do with 2 number 9s, to be honest.
Definitely.
Get rid of Martial, bring in 2 9s, maybe another defender, a wing back.
I was thinking a midfielder as well. They need another midfielder because if Casemiro gets injured or suspended again, you do not want someone like Scott McTominay or Fred playing in such a position.
Well, that's why I think they're also looking at Caicedo instead of Mount at one point because he can cover that 6. But he can also move further forward.
Yep.
And obviously just allow Bruno to have that creative license.
It'd be a great signing.
Yep. 100%.
I think Onana's a good signing as well.
Oh, brilliant. I think he
transforms
absolutely transforms not only the defense but the attack. You saw him in that Champions League final, how precise his passes were.
And he can save as well.
I thought the 2 best players in that final were Inter players, not even City players. I thought DiMarco and Onana were the 2 best players on that pitch.
I also like Barella. I thought Barella played really
so
well
good.
that game.
He needs a big move.
When
he's at a big
Newcastle
club.
were linked, I was like, wow, if they get Barella, that's a big signing.
Yeah, because Liverpool were linked with Barella at one point.
Yeah. I think Inter Milan would be hesitant to let him go since he's such a good player.
Yeah, that's why I think they might be raising cash with Onana because they look to be bringing in Jan Sommer from Bayern Munich.
Yep.
And then obviously Neuer to go to reclaim that number 1.
And that Ukrainian guy from Real Madrid, remember that youth keeper?
Lunin? Is that his name?
Trunin or something?
Lunin, yeah. You got Lunin, Sommer, and then also you've got... Who's that guy that went on loan to Monaco from Bayern? You know who I'm talking about? He was on loan at Monaco.
What position does he play?
Goalkeeper. Because that's who I think is the next heir to...
Oh, Nubel.
Nubel. Is that his name?
Nubel, yeah, that's him.
Alexander Nubel. Yeah, goalkeeper.
I can never pronounce the name, so I just spell it.
Yeah, it's got the 2 dots above the U.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nubel. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, because he's the understudy to Neuer, and then obviously Sommer has moved from Mönchengladbach, so he'll go to Inter.
Because Neuer had that injury. He had that big injury.
Yeah, it makes sense. In a skiing accident, I think it was. He was skiing.
Yeah, something stupid. Right?
Broke his leg or something.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. Second place.
I'm at Arsenal in second place. I think it'll be same season. I think they get Balogun back.
I think he'll leave.
You think he'll leave?
I'd rather let go of Nketiah before I let go of Balogun.
That's what I was thinking. So I think you're probably right. They will leave, but Timber, Rice, Havertz, and they already have that team. I think it will still be another second place finish.
Yeah, agreed. My number 2 was your number 4. I have
Liverpool.
As much as it pains me to say
Think they'll be back?
I think Liverpool are back.
Maybe.
I think Trent, the back end of last season, looked to be back in the groove of things, moving further forward, less defensive responsibility.
I liked him being inverted. I thought that was a good tactical change by Klopp.
I think Robertson's sliding in more central and having more defensive responsibility alongside Van Dijk, Kanate, and then you're probably going to have Trent. If Fabinho stays, probably Fabinho operating next to him, and then your 2 more progressive midfielders being like Szoboszlai and McAllister.
Yep. Moving into those positions.
Nunez has already had 1 year to adapt in the Prem.
Yeah.
As much as people want to call him a flop, I don't think he is. I think he's been underwhelming, but not a flop.
No, he's had moments. I think, like he's scored goals.
Yeah,
so.
He's had some good moments. Headbutting Joachim Andersen, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
And then obviously Mo Salah, he'll guarantee you 20 goals a season.
Still have Jota.
And Diaz back, and Gakpo.
They have a lot of good players.
So I think they're back, and I don't think they're going to run our joint first place. I don't think anyone's going to give them a run for their money.
Man City.
But Man City will win it.
They'll win the league.
They'll win it again. They've kept all their players, and they've only added to it with the likes of Kovacic.
I think there's more to come.
And I think there will be more to come. You saw at the end of last year, they had deadline day signings like Akanji, and he turned to be one of the best signings of the summer. They don't need really any more attacking players. Maybe a winger. Maybe one more winger.
Maybe another creative midfielder, but I could see them just putting Bernardo Silva in there.
Yeah.
He's just that good. I think Bernardo Silva is so underrated.
I think genuinely he just gets overshadowed because City used to be this team, right? They were so good, but there was never really one player that absolutely stood out as their best player besides De Bruyne.
Yeah.
And now you got Haaland, so you got them two, but then you've got Silva. You had Gundogan, you've got Rodri, you've got Diaz, you've got
Mahrez and stuff like
Mahrez, you've got Laporte, Foden, Julian Alvarez. Like the list just goes on and on and on. And even when they had like Raheem Sterling, all these players, just phenomenal. Like that squad, that manager, that team, that system,
amazing,
exceptional.
What team lets go of João Cancelo in the middle of the season and still goes on to win the league?
I thought it was insane, especially when he went to Bayern and then they ended up playing Bayern.
Yeah, and
they still just wiped the floor with them.
That's how you knew the Champions League was over, when they absolutely wiped the floor with Bayern.
I think Madrid was the last hurdle for them.
Yeah.
As soon as you see them wipe the floor with Madrid at the Bernabeu, you're like,
you're really hoping Madrid
did something, but you're just like, it's done. Mm-hmm. Vinicius Jr. got locked up by Kyle Walker, 33 years old, and still got locked up.
Yeah, still got pace,
Yeah.
What a great athlete.
Yeah, brilliant player. I think the best right back to play in the Premier League.
He'd be up there. I think we're spoiled for right backs now. The game's changed. The worst player doesn't get chucked at left back and right back anymore.
Yeah. That's Sunday League stuff now.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at right backs, they're actually really good players.
Such technical
players.
The ball,
yeah.
They're just midfielders that just have more defensive responsibility. They can also have that extra arrow in their attack to be able to go forward.
Put Bernardo Silva at left back for one game. That's how you know it's important.
Well, I was going to mention before when we're talking about the Real Madrid midfielders, Camavinga plays left back.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
and he's phenomenal.
It's interesting.
When in the first leg of their clash against City, that Vinicius Jr. goal, it was all Camavinga down that left hand side. Made a break, 1-2, Vinny,
good
bang.
Yeah,
like it's just like you're so much more progressive now because you have a midfielder playing there because he can operate the lines. He
can pass
exactly.
Yeah. He has that vision.
Yeah. Was there anything further you wanted to say? Our tables were pretty similar.
I think they were. I think it's going to be a good season next season.
Oh, God, yeah. It's going to be it always is. The Prem's always good. I think the end of last season, like the last couple of games were a bit underwhelming because it was kind of all wrapped up. It was more so just a relegation fight, but yeah.
Arsenal kind of fell it off a little bit, but yeah. It was interesting to see Leicester get relegated last season as well. Leeds, Everton escaping it once again.
Yeah.
How many times can you escape?
I know. What was once a steady mid-table to upper-table club.
Used to have really good players and play well, but
Yeah.
things change. Same with Southampton.
Yeah. Well, now that we've finished that segment, we'll take a break and we've got a mini game coming next. All right, we're back. And after all the talking, I think we ended on a bit more of a fun, playful note. We've got a little mini game. Football Tic Tac Toe tends to go down well on YouTube and TikTok, so we thought we'd give it a crack.
Who's got better ball knowledge?
Who's better
got
ball knowledge?
Yeah,
So we've made these grids. We've done... Each of us have picked 3 things on either side, and obviously you've got to line up the categories. So the grids will be on the screen. I'm making graphics now. These are just temporary ones we've got on paper. So the first one we have here.
Is the guest going to be allowed to go first?
Yeah, guest goes first.
Okay.
Just on this one, but guest goes first.
Alright, I'm going to go for a corner first. And I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for Eric Bailly as Europa League winner, Man United.
Yeah, that's fair.
Remember, you can be tactical as well and make...
Eric Bailly, just do a cross as well, so I know, obviously. Okay, so he's gone Eric Bailly for Man United Europa League winner.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Manchester United Ballon d'Or winner, and I'm just going to go Cristiano Ronaldo.
Fair enough. Cristiano. Alright, I'm going to go for German Ballon d'Or winner. The classic Muller.
Good Muller.
The classic Muller.
I've got to block him now.
One of the GOATs.
Spanish league managed by Pep. I could pick almost anyone.
That's a tough pick, man.
That is extremely tough. Let's just go with a bit more of a niche player. We're going to go for Eric Abidal.
Oh, fair enough. Good player back in the day.
Yeah, he had cancer or something, I'm pretty sure.
And then Alex Son tried lifting the Champions League trophy instead of him.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, your turn.
Spanish league and Manchester United. I think I'm going to go Ander Herrera.
Nice. That's a bit of a niche one.
Fantastic player. Let go for free as well. Tough loss.
Europa League winner and managed by Pep. I have to get now.
That's a tough one.
Come on. Think, Josh. Think. There's got to be someone there. Who's played at Bayern? Or
also won the Europa League, yeah.
Bayern, Barca. But also won the Premier League. I'm also not gonna take too long with this because obviously
I got it.
I don't want to milk it. Oh no, he's got it. Shit. No, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna give myself another 15 seconds if I don't.
No worries, yeah.
Yeah, if I don't get it. Oh god, you can tell we haven't prepared these. They're just on the spot.
Wait, I don't know if mine will count.
I'm just trying to think.
See if I can think of another one.
Europa League winner. No. Alright, I'm going to give up on that one. And I'm going to go for Pep Ballon d'Or winner and go Messi.
Would you count Kovacic?
Is he a Europa League winner?
Remember Chelsea won it?
Yeah, but was he in the squad?
I think so. Oh no, have I bottled it?
That's another thing with this game. If you guess and you miss, it's void.
Yeah, but it's all good. He has the right corner as well, and you'd have to think.
Yeah, it all comes down to that corner.
We're checking the validity.
We're checking the validity of this. Kovacic is a Europa League winner.
All right, first win.
But wait, are we gonna count this?
Well, he's managed in training sessions.
He's just signed for City. Oh.
Would we count that?
We'll give it.
Let people in the comments decide.
Yeah, does that count? He's signed for City this summer, has not played a game for them yet.
No, some people would say that wouldn't count.
Some people say. Well, Callum is currently up 1-0. He's got the diagonal on me, but that's the first grid. Wow. Bit difficult.
I'm still thinking of another one other than...
I can't think. There's got to be someone from Bayern.
Someone will say someone in...
Oh, would Xavi Alonso?
Did he win it? When did he?
Did he win it when he was at Liverpool? No, he would have left Liverpool by then. Gone to Real Madrid.
Yeah, because I was thinking someone else from Liverpool, but they made it to a final under Klopp and lost.
Yeah.
The Europa League final. They made it against Villarreal.
What about Mario Mandzukic? Was he at Atletico? I don't know when they won it.
That's what I was thinking. Some Atletico players, but
I don't know.
we move.
Oh, Rodri. Surely.
Rodri. Yeah,
Rodri would have been it. That had to have been it.
Oh.
Rodri would have been Atletico then when they won it. Yeah.
Was
I'm checking now just to make sure because if
Monaco been to a final, Europa League final?
Yeah, it was Europa League winner though.
Yeah.
Rodri.
He would have counted. Yeah.
100%. He would have won it.
From memory, he did.
Here we go. Come on. We go honours.
Yeah, it'd be a Europa League medal, no doubt.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong Rodri. What am I doing? Here we go. This guy. No. Super Cup. No Europa League. Because he moved the year after they won it.
He was only there for a year, that's true.
No Rodri. He does not count.
That would have been void.
Void.
Right. I'll let you go first.
Next grid. Yeah, I lost. I got to go first. I'm going to take that middle square straight up. I'm going to go for Barca Dutch League and I'm going to go for Frenkie de Jong.
Is that the strategy, the middle square?
Yeah, it has to be. Frenkie de Jong and I'll go X's this time.
Okay. Serie A Copa America winner. Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, he played at Udinese.
And also at Inter Milan.
Correct, and at Inter Milan. And Chile have won the Copa America.
Yeah, they beat Argentina and Messi cried. That was the one where Messi cried and said he was going to retire.
Yeah. Speaking of Messi, Copa America winner, World Cup finalist.
Gonna make me say it. The GOAT. We're calling him the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Not my favourite player, but he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that might need to be fact check.
Shoot, I can't remember. What's he? Pablo Mari.
Yeah, he went on loan to. I forget where. I think it was Serie A though.
Yeah.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
It was one of the random clubs. I was gonna say Torreira. I should have said Torreira. Remember he?
Yeah. Lucas Torreira, Pablo Mari.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he went on loan to like Udinese or something like that.
Yeah, Udinese. You're right, and Monza.
Yep.
Well done. Good pick. Well, I got to go Serie A and Eredivisie.
Yeah.
Serie A, Eredivisie.
I'm trying to think as well.
Oh my god. Oh, Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan.
You're forgetting the classics like Seedorf.
Yeah, we can go past and present as well.
Yeah,
so I'm just thinking of current players, eh?
Who was Delit?
Yeah, Delit. Yeah, I got Dumfries though.
All right, I'm gonna have to
PSV
do
and Inter Milan.
World Cup finalist and Dutch League. That's
you could
World
go.
Cup finalist and Dutch League.
Oh my god, there's so many, bro.
Kluivert.
There's so many.
Patrick Kluivert.
You could have gone for Iron Robin. You could have gone for like.
I was gonna go Iron Robin.
You could have gone for Van Persie. You could have gone for Klaas-Jan
But I don't know
Huntelaar. You
why.
could have gone for like anyone.
I know, but I always think of the semi-final with Iron Robin. I never think of the final.
Yeah.
The 2010.
2010, yeah.
I think was 2014 the semi-final where they lost. I think so.
Yeah.
Because I always think about that. I'm like, did he actually get in the final?
I'm going to go Arsenal,
did.
Barca. I'm going to go for Cesc Fabregas.
Should have gone for Alex Song, mate.
I'm just gonna write Fab. I can't really be bothered writing his whole name.
Might be a voided game. I have to go for Barca and Copa America winner. Lionel Messi.
No, you can't reuse players.
Oh, did I already use it?
No, I did.
Oh yeah, you did too. Oops.
Same grid. Can't reuse a player. There's a pretty obvious one.
Vidal.
Yeah, you could go him or the man behind you.
Yeah, Neymar Jr. Yeah, true.
That's what I was thinking. Vidal.
They finish off World Cup finalist. From
Yeah,
Arsenal.
World Cup finalist from Arsenal. You could just go Robin Van Persie. RVP. Oh,
That's a void.
P. I have to win this one now.
Yeah.
Damn.
The next one. Are you gonna let me go first, or
I'll
let you go first?
Oh wow, the
bring a
petty,
tie.
the petty.
Tiebreaker for the content. Come on.
Okay. I'm gonna go for middle square again. I'm gonna go for Angel Di Maria, Liga Nos, Liga 1.
Yep, Benfica.
Yep.
And
Di Maria is an X.
okay. French and Monaco. Everyone's nightmare, Ben Yedder. No one
FIFA 20, 21?
Always.
One of the two.
Big baller.
Big baller.
5-star weak foot. Cheers.
Yeah.
I won.
I'm going to go for Liga and French. I'm just going to go Mbappe.
Okay. Making it. Cutting me off. Ligue 1 UCL winner. There's a couple.
There's heaps.
There's heaps. I want to pick an interesting one.
There's heaps.
Josh.
There's heaps.
Alright, I'll go boring since you want me to speed it. Messi.
That is boring.
That's an easy one.
I was thinking of the Marseille squad, the first,
the one that
like Didier Deschamps and like Marcel Desailly and like Laurent Blanc. I think maybe he was in that squad. But yeah, obviously that squad. I was thinking heaps of players from that squad that won the Champions League. I'm gonna go for. Do we even speak of his name? No, we can't. Surely not.
Is it part of Prison FC?
Recently released from Prison FC.
Okay, then let's probably not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Bakary Sagna.
Okay. Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about now, yeah. Fair enough.
Bakary Sagna. Recently, his other French Man City...
Left back.
Fullback.
Has been
released from Prison FC.
Okay. I'm going to go for Man City UCL winner. Scott Carlson. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Scott
but I mean, you could go for anyone.
Yeah, I want to go for the Scott though, because he won it before then.
He won it with Liverpool in 2005.
Yeah, so let's shout him out.
Yeah. And then to win it, we got Monaco UCL. Oh, I know there's heaps, but I can't think of any right now.
I'm trying to think of some as well.
Oh, Bernardo Silva.
Oh, damn. All right, never mind.
Yeah, winner. Or Fabinho, or
it's a draw. It's a draw.
Yeah, even ball knowledge. Good game, sir.
Thank you.
And I think that's where we're going to leave it today. So, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Check the Score podcast. Thank you, Callum, for coming on today.
No worries. Thank you for your time.
And I'm sure we'll have another Premier League podcast when the season starts in about a month's time.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so as am I. See ya.
See ya.